Good day. So for today's video, we will going to talk about the summation notation or sigma. So what is summation notation? Okay, so it is a convenient and simple form of shorthand used to give a concise expression for a sum of the values of a variable. So we have here a formula in finding the summation notation, but always remember there are part 1 and part 2 in solving a summation notation, and the part 1 is there is no x sub 1, x sub 2 that was given. Okay, so first we have here a summation notation 1 to 10. Okay, the x is equal to 1 is our lower limit, and the 10 represents our upper limit, and the symbol of summation notation, it is a expression known to cultivate and simplify. This is also known to be function. Okay, while the x, it is the expression known to be cultivated and simplified. This is also known to be a function. So we have here two examples in summation part 1, and we have also two examples in summation notation part 2. So I will going to show to you in 3, 2, 1. So now we will going to solve the part 1 and part 2 of summation notation, and I have two examples that we will going to solve per part. Okay, so we will going to solve first our part 1 example number 1. Okay, so as you can see, the given is summation notation 1 to 10. Our x is equal to 1 is our lower limit, and we will going to end up in our upper limit, which is 10. Okay, in our part 1, it is just simply add the lower limit until you came up into our upper limit, which is 10. Okay, so we will just add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. Okay, we will going to stop in our in 10 because this is our upper limit. Okay, if we say that this is our upper limit, that is the term that we will going to stop. Okay, so we will going to add these numbers. Okay, so if we will going to add these numbers, the answer is 54. Okay, now we will going to move in our example number 2. It is just simply add, okay, the given lower limit until hanggang mapunta tayo sa upper limit natin. So summation notation is x squared plus 1, x is equal to 1 to 3. Okay, so we will going to quantity 1 squared. The x, we will going to change it in our lower limit until we came up in our upper limit. Okay, so 1 squared plus 1. Okay, now we will going to move or add our second term, okay, which is quantity 2 squared, okay, plus 1. The plus 1 is given, and the squared is also given. This is the formula that we will going to use, okay, and we will going to follow. So now we will going to add the upper limit, which is quantity 3 squared plus 1. Now we will going to simplify those numbers. Okay, so 1 raised to 1 is equal to 1, okay, plus 1. Now we will going to add our second term. So 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4 plus 1. And the third one is 3 raised to 2 is equal to 27. So if we say that is squared, we will just simply multiply it by itself, okay? Rather, this is 9 plus 1. So we will going to add this, okay? 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 4 plus 1 is equal to 5 plus 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. So we will going to add this. Okay, so the addition of these three terms is 17. Okay, now we will going to move in our summation notation part 2. Okay, so in our summation notation part 2, there is the x's is given. Our x sub 1 is 8, our x sub 2 is equal to 9, x sub 3 is equal to 12, and our x sub 4 is equal to 15, x sub 5 is equal to 6, and our x sub 6 is equal to 3, x sub 7 is equal to 10, and our x sub 8 is equal to 5, and our x sub 9 is equal to 2, and x sub 10 is equal to 1. Okay? Now, we will going to find the summation notation of 1 to 2. Okay? So we will going to add just like what we will do in our part 1. We just add it. But in our summation notation part 2, there are x sub 1 that we will going to follow. Okay? So in our example number 1 in part 2, our lower limit is 1. So we will going to start in x sub 1 until we climb up in our upper limit, which is x sub 10. Okay, so our x sub 1 is 8, our x sub 2 is 9, our x sub 3 is 12, plus our x sub 4 is 15, plus our x sub 5 is equal to 6, plus our x sub 6 is equal to 3, plus our x sub 10 is equal to, our x sub 7 is equal to 10, and our x sub 8 is equal to 5, our x sub 9 is equal to 2, and the upper limit is x sub 10 is equal to 1. Now we will going to add these numbers. So 8 plus 9 plus 12 plus 15 plus 6 plus 3 plus 10, 5, 2, and 1 is equal to 71. So this is the summation notation in our example number 1. Okay? Now we will going to move in our example number 2. Okay, so the upper limit that we will going to find is 6, and our lower limit is 2. Okay, and this excess we will going to use again in our example number 2. Okay, so we will going to use this formula. We will going to follow this. Okay, for us to be guided. Okay, so 5 times our xi, which is 2. Ibig sabihin, mag-i-start tayo sa x sub 2. And we will going to end in our upper limit, which is x sub 6. Okay, so our x sub 2 is 9. So 5 times 9 plus 5 times x sub 3, which is 12, plus x sub 4 is equal to 15, plus x sub 5 is equal to 6, and our upper limit is x sub 6 is equal to 3. So 5 times 3. Now we will going to multiply it before we add. Okay, so 5 times 9 is equal to 45, plus 5 times 12 is equal to 60 plus 5 times 15 is equal to 75 plus 5 times 5 times 6 is equal to 30 plus 5 times 3 is equal to 15. Now we will going to add. Okay? So 45 plus 60 plus 75 plus 30 and plus 15 is equal to 225. So the summation notation of 2 to 6 is equal to 225. So now this is the way on how to solve the summation notation part 1 and part 2. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Bye-bye.